I'm going to read for you an extract from Tickled Pink by Tessa Wanton. I am Mistress Velvet. Chapter 2. As my consciousness returned, I realised I wasn't anywhere that was familiar to me. A blindfold was tightly secured in place, and my arms and legs were bound, spread-eagle, to a table, bed, or board of some kind. I had no idea which, but it was a fairly hard surface, and my head was resting on something soft, a pillow perhaps. Thankfully, I was still fully clothed. However, the tight pencil skirt I was wearing added to the constriction of my legs. I strained to hear any sound of my captor above the soft music playing in the background and my own laboured panting. Nothing, except for the soothing strains of Vaughan Williams' Fantasia on the theme by Thomas Tallis, one of my all-time favourite pieces. I turned my head from side to side, trying to identify the source of the music, surprise joining my fear. I simply couldn't understand this strange situation, such apparent civility in such uncivilized circumstances. Testing my bonds, I ascertained that they were tightly fastened. An involuntary whisper rose from my throat as I struggled and twisted against them. Terror now filling the pit of my stomach as I vainly fought my restraints, desperate for escape, whimpering. My heart began to beat painfully, my throat constricting as a man's voice whispered in my ear, the movement of his lips brushing my lobe and sending shivers through me. "There's no point in struggling, love. Your delicate little wrists and ankles are no match for my knots," he laughed softly. Panic coursed through me. What had this man in store for me? The fact that I was fully clothed and shoed surely had to be a good thing. However, even as I anxiously tried to remain calm, the moment began. My right shoe was slowly taken away, and fingers caressed my foot gently, tracing lazy circles over the top of it. Such an unexpected action astonished me, and despite my paralyzing fear, the sensual, capable touch was arousing me. I felt lips kissing my foot through my stocking, gently and carefully sucking each toe in turn. A hand cupping my heel and ankle, holding me still. Screwing my eyes tightly shut despite the blindfold, I tried to maintain my composure, his stroke becoming lighter and lighter until it was just a tickle, making my body spasm involuntarily, instinctively trying to flee the nightmare caress. Laughing aloud, I was instantly ashamed at my vocal response, ashamed at losing control. Before the ordeal had commenced, I had decided resolutely that whatever he could do to me, I could keep my control, I could shut myself off, I could deny him the satisfaction of my fear. But this? He was taking control of my body with just a light drag of his fingertips over the sole of my right foot. He repeated this assault on my left foot, while continuing to tickle my right foot. Gulping for air, my cries came raggedly as I tried to fight my natural responses. I couldn't imagine how this could become any worse. And then, to my horror, he tickled up my legs and under my skirt. I writhed under his touch, howling completely out of control. Working his way up my body, across my stomach, he paused momentarily to trace the curve of my waist and hips. I could feel the desire rolling from him as he considered me, the atmosphere crackling with emotion, the strength of his need. His hands never left me, probing and squeezing. No doubt whilst he watched, assessing my reactions, and then he slowed his inspection, settling, for a short moment, pressing down gently on my abdomen, almost reassuringly. Then suddenly he tugged my blouse out of my skirt, slipping his hands underneath it, and skillfully found several sensitive spots around my ribcage, making my back arch. I thrashed under his silent but deft attack. His previous examination had directed his fingers to exactly the right places to make me squirm. Just as I could take no more, he stopped. I lay there panting and whimpering and gulping for air, wondering how long had passed since I had been strapped to this table. Time was non-existent. I was being attacked in a way that I had never even thought possible. This was worse than him beating me. If he had hurt me, I could have retreated, saved my sanity. But this? He knew my body was his. It was undeniable. I was incredibly turned on and so deeply ashamed. This unknown man's hands were forcing me to respond to him sexually, turning me into an animal.